Oh, well, hello. It is Tease. Good day, good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. I hope all are safe. I'm going to literally spit this out in one breath. But for those who don't understand by now, we ought to know by now, as melanated men and women, that here in America, probably even in the world, that more than likely you are going to be taken out by the system. And I say that because there's another quote unquote black man on death row set to be murdered today or put out of business today in Oklahoma. And notice how there is no pushback or nobody's kicking nobody's hand out the way. It doesn't matter if you're guilty, innocent, if you call the police, if you at work, don't matter what it is. Just know that whenever you come in contact with these people or with the government, they will kill your ass. And again, with that being said, we're still distracted with Diddy mess. Like literally, we're getting picked off, like literally apples on an apple tree, going to make apple pie. Like literally, like it's like their machine just keeps going, you know. So I'm just literally looking at today. They say Oklahoma man set to execute death row inmate Emmanuel Littlejohn on Thursday, and today is Thursday. This was posted 4 hours ago. So Oklahoma time, I want to say, is that I don't know where it is as far as geographically, as far as like the time zone. But I want to say they normally do executions between like 10 a.m. and like 2 p.m. I don't know. It just really just depends on how they get down. So I don't know if he's been taken out yet, but notice while we're being distracted, we are being taken out. That's how you should know that something much bigger is going on. And also, too, while we're being distracted and taken out, other groups, other countries, and other people, they are preparing for war. America just funded the war for Ukraine. Millions of dollars are going to arm them up so they can go to war. And mind you, when they say, oh, war with Ukraine, that's a code word for saying it's basically war for you, you know, because we can say, oh, well, I'm over here, I fell down the stairs in downtown, but that means by the time I swing to you, you're going to get the smoke for it. You see what I'm saying? We're worried about Diddy. We're worried about guy versus gal. We're worried about sex. And while we're worried about this, we're being literally picked off like apples from an apple tree, and everyone else is preparing for war. Everyone else has their SWAT gear. They got their food and their medical supplies off to the side. They got support. They got heavy hitters. And what do we got? The latest mess on Diddy. And we got a toe tag too, because when I say it's not just these death row inmates getting put to death, it's like literally while we're distracted, there's much more going on. And I can promise you there's much more. If your top news or if something that's catching your attention is mess, just know that it's much more going on. And actually, just know that's going to make you a casualty of war too, because it's something about people in the midst of a storm. It's just something about people dicking around when you should be on the straight and narrow. It's like that in itself makes you a target. You think, well, I didn't do anything. I was just listening to hip hop, or I was just fighting with my friends. When it comes to war, it's like the ones who, okay, so for instance, we'll give it to when it comes to the school shooters. So when the school shooters come in, they're not coming to shoot armed people. They're coming to shoot people sitting down with their heads in their ass, with their faces in their books. You see what I'm saying? You're distracted. That's how they're able to kill a bunch of people. They never go in. Haven't you noticed? And if you do hear about it, they never reported it. But school shooters, they don't go into army camps. They don't go into police precincts. And if they do, it's every blue moon. And even when they do, they still catch you with your guard down. So it's like it's one of those things. When you go into attack, it's easier to attack when your head is in your ass and when you're distracted. Basically, when your guards are left down and you feel like there's no hope. Because even with this, when you notice these black men getting chipped off, I've noticed it's playing a role on your psyche. Now you're feeling defeated. That's why it's easy for black men to go neck and neck with the women and children. You're going to let your frustrations out on the women and children, but notice how they never let their frustrations out on the job. You ain't going to let your frustrations out with this American constitutional law. Let your frustrations out to Biden or these police officers and see what happens to you. Because you won't. You're not going to do it. You see what I'm saying? So while we're worried about Diddy drama, which could possibly be fake, because they know that you love mess, y'all niggers are getting executed. Man, woman, and child of the nappy-headed, melanated community are being taken out and wiped out as we speak. And we still have time to talk about what's going on with Diddy. And you ask me why I say y'all are casualties of war. Because you're useless at this point. If you can worry about what the hell's going on with Diddy while everyone else is preparing for World War III that's popping off already, just haven't reached you yet, and you think just because everything's on fire, well, I ain't got no burns on my shirt, you think you good? Okay. Casualty of war, that's just the short and sweet of it. Casualties of war. Because again, at the time, in the midst of the storm, we're dicking around. Even for those who's about to get hit with that storm, those who are there in the face of that storm, whether you prepare for it or not, those are going to be casualties of war too. Because that hurricane that's coming through, they're not playing with you. Literally, when they showed it on the radar, it literally formed a question mark. Like, I don't know if I'm going east, west. I don't know if I'm here to tear you up, tear them up. All they know is it's headed for Florida. I don't know if it hit yet. I don't know if they're just getting winds right now. But anybody who want to go neck and neck with that, you're not going to last long. Because it's like when stuff comes in like a raging lion, you're not going to be prepared for something to happen, especially if it catch you off guard. So that's why I wanted to say to the melanated community, niggers from here, there, and everywhere, it's like, wake up and smell the roses. It's like, I'm really getting tired of singing from the mountaintop. And I feel like if you're casualties of wars, if there's no help for you, because you don't want to listen, or you feel like you've arrived, or you feel like you're safe because you're in bed with the beast, just know that that's not going to end well as far as doing business like that. Having that defeated mindset. Once you're defeated in the mind, hell, it's a wrap. Because that means when they kick your door and you're just going to sit there with your hands up waiting for them to do whatever they want to do to you. You're not going to put up a fight. So that means you're a casualty of war. You are. And then ultimately, you want to work against me because you're scared. You didn't prepare. Now you got to hit me across the head for my supplies. Do you see how that shit works? And this is why I'm saying, like, literally, it's just sickening how distracted we are. We can literally sit around talking about Diddy, talk about gossip, talk about guy versus gal, talk about sex, talk about all this dumb shit at a time such as this while we're literally being picked off. I don't even know if there's a particular time where they do executions, but it seems like this is execution season. This will be the second nigger that we know of that they got rid of. And that's the one that made the news. What about the ones who didn't make the news? What about the ones who you're not going to reach your death penalty or your death sentence because they killed you and buried you in the backyard of the damn jail or the prison? You see what I'm saying? That happens too. You know how many people are literally crash dummies and test dummies in the prison where they literally have those cuts down the middle of their torso, taking organs, literally leaving you for dead, and then once you are dead, your ass getting thrown right in that backyard and getting buried behind the damn building. So again, anyone who has time to be distracted, anyone who got time for guy versus gal, if you ask me, you are a casualty of war. Because I'm going to take that as a threat. Like, clearly you're not prepared if you're worried about what's going on with Diddy while the bombs are dropping, while you got all these storms and strange activity going on. You don't know east from west. You don't know who's a man or a woman around here, and you got time to be distracted. You better wake up.